I failed 3 exams in one semester. Not because I wasn't smart, because my daily routine was silently destroying my brain. I was waking up at random times, studying for hours but remembering nothing, and crashing every afternoon like clockwork. Sound familiar? After testing 7 different student routines over 6 months, I finally found the one that actually works. And the crazy part? It's not about studying more. It's about designing your day around how your brain actually functions. Let me show you exactly what changed everything. Here's what nobody tells you about being a student. Your brain isn't a machine that runs the same way all day. It has peak hours and crash hours. Most students completely ignore this. They study their hardest subjects when their brain is tired. They scroll Instagram when their brain is sharpest. They eat heavy lunches right before important classes. Then they wonder why nothing sticks. Think of your brain like a phone battery. Without proper charging, without the right apps running at the right time, it crashes. That's exactly what's happening to you. But once you understand your brain's natural rhythm, everything changes. So here's the system I'm going to share with you today. I call it the 4-phase student day. Phase 1, morning power. That's when your brain is sharpest. Phase 2 is afternoon focus. That's when you apply what you've learned. Phase 3 is evening reset. That's when you recharge your mental batteries. And Phase 4 is night architecture. That's when your brain actually saves everything into memory. Miss any of these phases, and the whole system breaks down. But nail all 4? You'll study less, remember more, and actually have time for yourself. Let's break down each phase. Phase 1, morning power. Most students either torture themselves with 4 a.m. wake-ups or they set 10 alarms and still wake up at noon. Both are wrong. Here's the science. Your brain's cortisol levels naturally peak between 6 and 8 a.m. That's your body's built-in wake-up signal. Fighting against it by forcing 4 a.m. routines, that actually increases stress hormones and kills focus later. The sweet spot for students is between 6 and 7:30 a.m. Early enough to be productive, late enough to be sustainable. And here's the key. What you do in the first 10 minutes matters more than what time you wake up. Here's the biggest morning mistake students make. The very first thing they do is check their phone. Instagram, messages, TikTok. That's like inviting 50 strangers to dump their problems into your brain before you've even opened your eyes. Instead, try this. When you wake up, don't touch your phone for the first 20 minutes. Get up, drink a full glass of water. Your brain is actually dehydrated after 8 hours of sleep. Then open your window or step outside for 2 minutes. Natural light signals your brain to stop producing sleep hormones. This simple routine increases morning focus by almost 40%. I know it sounds basic, but basic works. Now, here's the most important part of your morning. Your brain is sharpest in the first 2 hours after waking up. Neuroscientists call this your cognitive peak. Most students waste this time eating breakfast slowly, scrolling social media, or watching random videos. That's like having a Ferrari and using it to go to the grocery store. Use your cognitive peak for your hardest subject. Struggling with math? Solve problems in the morning. Learning a new language? Practice vocabulary now. Writing an essay? Drafted when your brain is fresh. 1 focused hour in the morning equals 3 tired hours at night. This single change boosted my grades by 2 letter marks. But here's what most productivity gurus don't tell you. Your morning routine means nothing if your afternoon falls apart. And for most students, afternoons are where focus goes to die. You've been in class for hours. You ate lunch, you feel that heavy, foggy feeling creeping in, and suddenly, studying feels impossible. This is the afternoon slump, and almost every student experiences it. But what if I told you the afternoon slump isn't a problem to fight? It's actually a signal to work differently. That brings us to Phase 2. Phase 2, afternoon focus. Here's the secret. Your brain after lunch isn't designed for learning new things. It's designed for applying what you already know. See, when you eat, blood flows to your digestive system. Your brain gets less oxygen. That's why heavy thinking feels so hard after lunch. But here's what still works perfectly. Practice problems, past exam papers, revision flashcards. Active exercises where you're doing, not just reading. So structure your afternoon around practice, not theory. New concepts in the morning, application in the afternoon. This matches your brain's natural energy patterns. Now, let's talk about classes. Most students sit in class like zombies. They copy everything the teacher says word for word. They nod their heads, but nothing sticks. 3 hours later, they can't remember a single thing. That's passive learning, and it's almost useless. Here's what actually works. It's called the active learning protocol. First, take notes in your own words. Don't copy, translate. Second, ask one question per class. Even a small question keeps your brain engaged. Third, spend 2 minutes after class summarizing what you learned. Just speak it out loud or write 3 sentences. This simple protocol tripled my retention. Now here's where most students completely crash. Classes are over, you're mentally exhausted. You think, I should study more. So you force yourself to sit down with your books, but your brain just won't cooperate. You read the same paragraph 5 times, nothing goes in. This is your brain screaming for a reset. And if you ignore it, you'll burn out. I learned this the hard way. I used to push through exhaustion every single day. My grades dropped, my mood tanked. I felt like a failure until I discovered phase 3. Phase 3, evening reset. After a full day of mental work, your brain needs movement, not hardcore gym sessions, just 20 to 30 minutes of physical activity. Play basketball, go for a walk, dance in your room, do some yoga, anything that gets your body moving. Here's the science. Exercise increases blood flow to your hippocampus. That's the part of your brain responsible for memory. Students who exercise in the evening actually remember more of what they studied during the day. Plus, it reduces stress hormones that block learning. Movement isn't a break from productivity. It's part of productivity. After moving your body, it's time for something most students completely skip: creative time. I know what you're thinking. I don't have time for hobbies. I need to study. But here's the truth. Even the top students in the world don't spend every hour studying. They draw, they play music, they build things, they cook. Why? Because creativity acts like a mental reset button. It prevents burnout, it reduces anxiety, and it actually makes studying feel easier afterward. 30 minutes of creative time in the evening will make your next study session twice as effective. This isn't wasted time. This is strategic recovery. Now, after you've recharged, there's one more evening study session. But this one is different. This is not the time for heavy learning. Your brain is tired. It won't absorb new complex information well. Instead, use this time for light revision. Review your notes from earlier today. Solve easy or medium practice problems. Summarize key concepts in your own words. Organize your materials for tomorrow. Think of this as a gentle review, not intense cramming. 20 to 30 minutes is plenty. The goal is to feel accomplished, not exhausted. This sets you up perfectly for phase 4. But here's where the magic really happens, and most students completely miss it. Everything you studied today, it's still flowing around in your short-term memory. It hasn't been saved yet. Your brain converts short-term memories into long-term memories during sleep. Cut your sleep short? You're literally erasing your own hard work. It's like writing a document for hours and then closing it without saving. All that effort? Gone. That's why phase 4 is arguably the most important phase of all. Phase 4, night architecture. Before you sleep, spend 5 minutes planning tomorrow. Not vague plans like study more. Specific tasks. Finish chapter 5 of biology. Solve 15 calculus problems. Review history flashcards for 20 minutes. Here's why this works. Your brain constantly loops on unfinished tasks. That's why you lie in bed thinking about everything you didn't do. When you write tomorrow's plan down, your brain relaxes. It knows there's already a system in place. You fall asleep faster, you sleep deeper, and you wake up with clarity instead of chaos. Now here's the hardest part for most students. No screens 30 minutes before bed. I know, it's painful, but your phone emits blue light that tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. That's why you scroll TikTok until 2 a.m. even when you know you should be sleeping. Replace screen time with something calming. Read a few pages of a book, not a textbook, something you actually enjoy. Listen to calm music. Journal about your day. Even 15 minutes of this will dramatically improve your sleep quality. Your brain starts winding down naturally instead of being overstimulated. And finally, protect your sleep like it's sacred. 7 to 8 hours minimum. No exceptions. I know it's tempting to sacrifice sleep before exams. One more hour of cramming, one more chapter. But here's the hard truth. Sleep is when your brain saves everything you studied. Think of it like this. Studying is loading the data. Sleep is pressing the save button. Skip sleep, you're deleting your own work. Students who get consistent sleep outperform students who cram. Every single time. This isn't laziness. This is strategy. Now here's something most routine videos won't tell you. Your routine is useless if your mindset is broken. Stop comparing your study hours to others. Someone claims they study 14 hours a day. They're probably lying, or they're burning out. Focus on quality, not quantity. And remember this, consistency beats intensity. 4 focused hours every day for a month will crush 12 random hours twice a week. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent.